Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how playoff Rondo could be the saving grace of this Lakers team and help them win a NBA Finals. Now, y'all might be like, how the hell is Rajon Rondo going to be able to be the guy on a team that involves LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and he's the one that pushes them over the edge to win a Finals? Well, I'm getting to all that in this video and how I think playoff Rondo could potentially be the saving angel of this team. So yeah, if you do like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. Okay, so the first thing we're getting into is going to be playoffs Rondo's career stats and how playoff Rondo became a thing. Rondo, his entire career, has always played at a higher level in the playoffs than he has in the regular season. Literally, his entire career he has. As if you look at his career regular season averages, he averages 10.2 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, on 5 assists per game. But then if you look at his playoff averages, they go all the way up to 14 points per game, 2 steals per game, 19.3 assists per game, and 6 rebounds per game. So I mean, you can already see his entire career, his stats just go up in the playoffs. He's just one of those players that strives in primetime games and is very, very good. But then even if you look at recent history, it even comes like more apparent that he ups his game in the playoffs. As I mean, just as recent as what, 2-3 years ago for the Chicago Bulls, this is pretty much the series where playoff Rondo became a term and was born. Well, this series against Boston, they were the 8th seed going into it, going against the 1 seeded Boston Celtics, who was led by Isaiah Thomas at the time. And I mean, Rajon Rondo was probably the reason they started off on a 2-0 lead against the Boston Celtics. Rajon Rondo was able to average in that series, in the 2 games that he played, 11.5 points per game, 3.5 steals per game, 10 assists per game, and 8.5 rebounds per game. He was 1.5 rebounds per game away from averaging a triple-double in the playoffs in the 2 games. But then obviously he got injured and they lost the next 4 games and pretty much got swept without Rajon Rondo. So it is safe to say if Rondo would have stayed healthy in that series, the Chicago Bulls had a very legit chance at completely upsetting the Boston Celtics in just the first round, which would have been one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. But then you look at just the next year with the New Orleans Pelicans, he was able to help them sweep the Portland Trail Blazers and dropped a playoff record 21 assists in Game 3 against the Golden State Warriors. So I mean, you've seen Rajon Rondo time and time again just completely help carry teams in playoff situations. Like with the New Orleans Pelicans, he was not the best player on that team. They had Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and other very good role players on that roster. And I mean, Rajon Rondo also, although he did help a lot, he was nowhere near the best player. But in the playoffs, he was probably a legit equal to Drew Holiday, which is saying a lot, as Drew Holiday is a all-star level shooting guard and one of the best defenders in the NBA. So when you take that into account and you put Rajon Rondo all the way up there, when he becomes just an average role player to a borderline all-star level player in the playoffs, that is going to help any team in any situation. And even if you look at just this year's series with the Los Angeles Lakers, outside of Game 1, where that was literally his first game back in months, not months, but like in a very long time, where he struggled, outside of Game 1, he has pretty much been a main part of the reason why they've won back-to-back games 2 and 3. As in Game 2, the dude was a beast defensively, where he had 5 steals, so that's 5 extra possessions for the Lakers. He had 9 assists, which means he assisted on 18 points minimum with those 9 assists. And he poured in 10 points off the bench, which is always valuable to get points off your bench. So when you can get a point guard that can facilitate the offense like he can, play defense, and score a little bit, that's going to help you win any game. And then in Game 3, he didn't help as much defensively, only having 2 steals, but he still had many assists and 23 points. So that helps you a ton. When you can get someone getting 20 plus points off your bench on any night, I mean, now obviously Rondo isn't going to go for 20 points every night, but you can rely on him to get steals, assists every single night. And I mean, that's very valuable because every assist is points for your team. So with someone that can get as many assists and rack them up as fast as they can, like Rondo, well, that's just more and more points being poured in, plus whatever he gets as well, plus the steals are going to add possession. So he can just help you in so many ways that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's kind of piggybacking into my first point and how he might help them win an NBA Finals, is because he can literally help you in any way you need a point guard to help you. He can score the ball when he absolutely has to. You cannot leave him wide open for threes because the dude can knock down a three and he will get hot. He can handle the ball in late game situations. He can handle the ball in any situation. He's a veteran point guard. You're not going to speed him up. You're not going to get him out of his game. He's going to play his game and he's going to play it very, very well. He can be a closer for your team, which is extremely valuable. When you can have someone that can play crunch time with LeBron and Anthony Davis and not feel pressure and not make a mistake because he feels that closing time pressure, well, that's going to help him a lot. He's extremely clutch. He's going to be able to get all of his teammates involved no matter who's on the court, and defensively, he's going to be absolutely locked down, and that's just another great defender adding to an already great Lakers defense. So, I mean, now imagine that. You have Rajon Rondo, who's an extremely good defensive point guard, or very smart at that. You have Anthony Davis, who's locking up the paint, and LeBron James, who has turned up his defense to a completely different level since this series has started. That defense is going to look disgusting, and now you at least have 3 players in your closing lineup that you can extremely count on and lean on in late game situations. Now, obviously, the ball's going to LeBron or Anthony Davis for shooting wise, but to get them the ball, Rajon Rondo is probably one of the best players in the NBA for that, and that is going to help the Lakers a ton in clutch time situations a little bit farther down the line in this playoff run. And now my second reason is going to be it gives the Lakers a legit closing third guy. And this is so important because people have been asking who's going to be the third guy, who's going to be that. Now, although I don't think Rondo could be the third guy for the entire game, because your third guy has to be able to get you 20 plus points, and that would probably have to be Kyle Kuzma, and hopefully he can get to that at one point in this playoff series or playoff run this year, and maybe he can become that 20 plus point guy with Rondo helping feed him the ball, as he did just have a very good game. But I mean, Rajon Rondo at end game situations is a legitimate third guy that is going to be on the court in the last final minutes of every single game. So I think Rondo is going to help them a ton in those closing situations, which is very nice. If you can get a team that is clutch in late game situations, and I think a team of LeBron and Rondo is already clutch enough, and then you add Anthony Davis to that, that is an extremely clutch team, and they're going to be able to do a lot of good things in clutch situations where a lot of teams could crumble due to all the pressure. So I think that is going to help them a ton in late game situations, and I know I just said late game situations about 50 times, I'm sorry, but yeah, I just think Rondo is going to help them a ton if it comes to winning NBA Finals, and I think if they do win the NBA Finals, Rajon Rondo will be a ginormous piece to that. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think Rondo will be a big piece, or do you think this is just a flash in the pan? Do you think playoff Rondo could help the Lakers and win the NBA Finals? On your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. I mean the absolute road to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.